Hi, this is Sandra.
Hi, this is Peter.
And we're medievalist.net, and we're really tired.
Yeah.
It's so late at night, and we're doing this Borgias recap for
Yes,
you.
we're finishing up our work night.
Finally.
With the Borgias, episode 8.
It's called The Art of War.
Yes, and war we get. So.
Yes, we get plenty of war. I'm loving the French King. Charles is fantastic. He's so funny. And I have to say, I kind of want to actually segue into talking about two main things, basically. Juan being an inept idiot,
yes.
And Lucrezia actually showing that she's a real Borgia and she knows her stuff and she outwits him.
Yes, poor Juan gets a bad treatment, but of course it's his own fault first. His first scene is he's in the whorehouse, sleeping off the night, which Cesare doesn't find very interesting, but, you know, he
doesn't find it very funny. He's like, yeah,
you know, but
get up. Let's get this show on the road. There's a war coming, and you're whooring.
He calls it it's this debauchery and lechery, and Juan has a great line. Debauchery and lechery are the hallmarks of
the marks
nobility
of nobility. That might be a fact, but the fact that the French army's coming to kick your ass, maybe you shouldn't be whoring. Just saying.
Yeah, he seems well. Because he comes up with this master plan.
And it's like the worst plan ever. And somehow Rodrigo falls for it. He's like, oh, you know, instead of running away and hiding in behind fortified walls because they have cannons, let's stand in front of them in an open field and face the cannons head on. And Rodrigo's like, yeah, you're the best. Juan, you're so smart. And Cesare's off in the corner like, oh, palm face.
He could have said something if he had a chance.
And he goes, Cesare goes, I know nothing of the art of war. And Juan's like, well, at least one of us does. And I'm so glad I wasn't drinking anything because I think I would have spat out my drink. I snorted. I was like, really? I thought he was just an idiot.
His plan does not work.
It's a war fail.
It never works, so they...
Don't tell him what happens.
Well,
he's
standing there. His plan was to kind of, we're going to outflank the French and go behind them and get around, which, if you have I guess if you have a large army, you could probably outflank a smaller army with cannon, yeah, but in this case, the papal forces are tiny compared to the French, and he's just looking, he says, well, we really can't go to their left because there's more troops. We can't go to the right because there's more troops. Where can we go? So they just kind of sit there and let the first shot.
And he's so unsure of himself. He's like, goes to one of his captains. He's like, so who gives the command to charge? And he's like, you do? And I'm like, oh man, Juan, I could lead the papal army better than you.
Yeah. So we get to see one volley from the French cannons, and they use their neat little
disgusting. It's like a meat factory.
They use their kind of and this is not probably something when we're talking about a historian. It's probably something they didn't use in 15th century Italy, but where they're two cannonballs with a chain, so it's like a.
It's like a shot put.
It's like a lawnmower kind of. Just goes through guys.
People. It's disgusting. You don't want to eat watching the Borgias.
And it was a great.
Don't eat.
It was a great visual, and mind you, like these battle scenes, like they
graphic.
They have done a lot to kind of put like an epic quality into this show with lots of extras, huge armies. I think a lot of them must be digital, but I can't tell which is like the real guys, which is the digital guys. So it looks really impressive, and the shots, when the few that was kind of really impressive. Like we even a scene where a guy is in half lying on the floor, which was.
Why do you always smile when you say that? I always point this out, but he really likes his war.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I have to study more about this. So.
Apparently, but so it's an utter fail, and And this is what kills me. So we're going to backtrack now.
Okay,
so
no.
Lucrezia and Giulia Farnese take off.
Yeah.
They get Paolo to saddle up their horses, and then they get captured by the French army.
Yeah. By the way, poor Paolo gets a whipping for it. So
yeah, that's okay. And he tells Lord Sforza, your wife can't stand you, neither can I.
Yeah. That only gets more of a whipping. So.
Yeah, but I was like, that's so awesome.
You could have lied.
My Lord
You could have said they, you could have said Lucrezia just, forced me to do it.
Anyways. So they get captured by the French army, and Giulia Farnese smartly, intelligently says, I'm Giulia Farnese, and this is the Pope's daughter, knowing that they'll probably want to hold them as hostages and ransom them. And they get invited to dinner, and they meet Della Rovere.
Yeah.
And I really like this scene, and the next scene that I wanted to talk about with Juan is that Lucrezia actually shows that she's the real Borgia, and she knows her stuff. She presses Della Rovere to know, and she's like, why are you here? No, really, why are you with the French army again? Yeah. Again, do tell?
Yes.
And, he finally admits he's there to depose him. She's like, right, okay, great, that's super. And she remembers what Giulia Farnese told her about using her looks and her wits. And she really does a number on the King of France. She flirts with him hard.
It gives him, and he's not the guy, as he says, he's not the guy that gets mistresses, so.
Yeah, this is so funny. He's like, why don't I have a mistress?
Yes. The Pope has a mistress? Why don't I have a mistress?
He's like, man, why don't I have a mistress?
He's a funny guy. And, it's a great little scene in dinner where
she's flirting with him hard and reading his fortune in this wine cup. Yeah. And the thing is, she's bright. Yeah. Like, she's like 14 or 15. She's pregnant with this stable boy. But the girl has political savvy, I guess you'd say. Her brother's a bumbling idiot. And the part I wanted to get to, which is why I backtracked, is the part on the battlefield where she's like, tells King Charles, hold your fire. Yeah. He holds it. She rides out to Juan.
Yeah. Yeah, in a great scene,
and tells him what time it is. She's like, yo, this is the time you can listen to me. It's like, what is that?
Yeah,
it's embarrassing. Like, the whole time I'm watching Juan, I'm just like, oh, I'm cringing. I'm like, wow, you're so horrible. Can I please lead these papal armies? Like, didn't
Lucrezia
you feel like that?
The papal army.
She should. Lucrezia should lead the papal army. Della Rovere should lead the papal army. Anyways,
Lucrezia uses her infinite charm, and she says, look. Leave, Juan says, they're going to come and they're going to sack Rome if I let them. She says, leave that to me. And she goes over and she tells the King of France, oh, my brother thought you were coming to sack Rome, but I know you're such a nice guy that you would never, ever do that. Would you? No, I wouldn't.
She's like, you're just here for Naples, right?
Yeah.
Wink, wink. He's like, yeah. Naples.
You can see his disappointment not having a fight. So they.
And then Juan retreats and retreats and does exactly what a 15-year-old girl tells him to do. Man,
He retreats.
Utter fail.
He gets back home and it looks like he's getting written off for the rest of the series.
And then the best part is, our man Chezzy's sitting there with Rodrigo, the Pope, and Rodrigo's like, he finally admits it. He's like, Juan, he's useless. He's like, my fatherly affection blinded me. Mm-hmm. He was not suited for this, and he realizes he's got the wrong man for the job. Yeah. Completely, and it's unbelievable.
At this time, and this whole time, is Rodrigo and Cesare are kind of trying to stop this kind of exodus of Rome. Like, everybody wants to get out. Everyone wants to, they're like rats.
Okay, Juan calls the fleeing monks lemmings.
Yes, if you know of
that's
lemmings,
that's a modern reference. Am I crazy? He called them lemmings. Who wrote that into the script?
I don't know if lemmings are European or not. I know they're Canadian.
Anybody can comment on that. He calls the fleeing monks lemmings. Yeah. I'm like, lemmings? Isn't that a video game? When the lemmings run away. Anyways. But the point is, it's pathetic. Cesare says he's going to stay with his father and everything, and And it's just such a sad sack for Juan. Like, he's just hopeless. And Rodrigo in the end is like, you know what? Just take your mom and get out of Dodge.
Yes.
Just take the Papal Army.
Go, you know. Like,
get out, because you're really useless. And he is.
Everyone wants the Pope to flee, to go to Ostia. I don't know. Ostia is just outside of Rome. I don't know that would have really done anything. But they want them all. Everyone wants to flee. The Pope is, I'm staying. He has these great lines. He's just great speeches.
He has some of the best speeches in this particular episode. They're like epic.
Yeah.
All the quotes I was, because I do my reviews, I recap with quotes because I think the quotes have some of the most or poignant or humorous moments in the show. I swear, they gave him some of the best lines. I had a hard time writing down anybody else's lines because they were all lame compared to Rodrigo's.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons this is probably his best performance.
Yeah, he's fantastic in this particular episode. He actually kind of gets back into it. For a long time, it was just like the Cesare show, and Rodrigo was kind of like a papal puppet. Like, okay, I'll, take care of all this stuff. I'm just gonna, sit here and be the Pope. And now he's just kind of coming back into his own. I thought that was really good. Yeah.
And towards the end, he basically, I guess he comes up with a plan to get out of his papal robes and look like a monk. And
I don't know what's going to happen there, but we'll see, and that's how it ends. And I don't know. I like this episode. I really like that Rodrigo finally realized Juan's inept. Mm-hmm. I like that it showcased Lucrezia's, feminine wiles, and that she's brighter than they portrayed her to be, and I enjoyed that. And
one last thing, we find out that Cesare has found his nun again.
Yes, Ursula. He's going to protect her. I'm just so hoping she breaks.
Apparently, Ursula didn't. She wanted to get away from Cesare, but she couldn't. Not that far because she didn't even leave Rome. So.
No. Anyways, but it was a good episode all in all. I can't wait till next week's episode is entitled Nessuno. It is the season finale. Don't forget to tune in. It's going to be fantastic. It looks very, very good.
Yeah, it's the season finale. Oh, man, I can't believe that's this show, it kind of, was at the first, we were all like about the Game of Thrones and stuff like that, but and we didn't even start watching it until a couple of weeks in, really.
Yeah.
And wow, I'm really impressed by
Peter's
the Borgias.
Loving it. He's loving the violence of the French army.
Yeah, I'm loving the French.
I love it. Easy.
I'm loving the Italian backdrop, which is set in Hungary. But like all those Italian places that although they're all Hungary. So
this is okay. Anyways,
hopefully they can film a bit in Rome next.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes maybe a couple shots. Walking around.
Anyhow, so it was a good episode, and we hope that you tune in with us next week for the season finale. It looks fantastic, and we will see you next Sunday.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.